Hello everyone, welcome to Uni Voyage. Today we'll be solving question number 37 to 42 of the verbal section. These are around idioms and phrases, and we've divided all the entire section into topic-wise questions so that it's easier for you to revise before the exam. You can just pause when the question comes up and try solving it on your own, and then I'll give the solution. So this was question number 37 of the IPMAT 2020 paper. So the answer to this is nest egg. It came as a shock to me that my friend had lost the nest egg he had built carefully over the years when, in a moment of madness, he lent all of it to his neighbor. Nest egg is basically a sum of money that you have saved over a long period of time. Over here, what you can do, and the correct way to approach such questions, is to analyze all the options and try and fit it over here. Now, you have to have knowledge of idioms and phrases in order to tackle such questions. Option B, nests and eggs, it doesn't make any sense. It's not a phrase. Option C, bird's nest, also doesn't make any sense because, again, this is not a phrase. Option D, nestled eggs. I have mentioned the meaning of nestled also in case someone doesn't know. Nestle is basically you nestle in the warmth of something. So you settle or lie comfortably within or against something. So again, nestled egg doesn't make any sense over here. So that is how you approach the question, is by analyzing the options and seeing which phrase fits in. Now, question 2 was, during the debate, when the minister appeared to be vague about his stand on the controversial energy project, his opponent asked him to dash and declare outright if the government would go ahead with the project or not. Now, here the answer is cut to the chase. Option A, be curt to the face, is not a phrase. Curt means very, you reply very rudely. So you're curt to someone, or you give a curt nod to someone, like a very brief. And it's so brief that it's very rude. Curt to the face, it doesn't fit in over here. Cut to the chase means come to the point. So his opponent asked him to come to the point and declare outright and not be very vague, because if you notice, there is a word vague in the first line. Curb the farce. So farce is an absurd event or a very, it's basically mockery or buffoonery. So that's farce. And curb is to stop. So curb the farce wouldn't fit in correctly over here because the most appropriate is cut to the chase. And cut globe doesn't make any sense. Globing means to go round and round about, and cut globe is completely irrelevant. So now question number 3. It is irritating when co-workers dismiss your ideas as worthless and later present those very ideas as their own. They just want to dash. Steal your credit, steal your crown, steal your thunder, steal your gloating. For such questions, you have to practice. I mean, you have to read as many idioms and phrases you can and read editorials because it's very clearly steal your thunder. The other three would make sense directly, like actually if you go and you steal something, but here it's meant in a phrasal metaphorical sense. When you steal someone's thunder, you take praise for them. Matlab, i I took advantage of someone else's efforts, and I tried to, when they were supposed to get praise, I just tried to steal their thunder and I ended up getting praise for myself. So that is an example of that. Now, the fourth question, before the start of the meeting, I am dash on the latest developments, taking you through, going to share, going to bring you up to speed, going to be explaining. Now, here all the options are very confusing because all of them kind of make sense, taking you through, going to share, going to be explaining, but going to bring you up to speed is a phrase that exists and it's the most appropriate. So in some questions you will be confused, try to look for a phrase that exists or something that is most appropriate. So get someone up to speed is to give the latest information. And if you notice, there is the word latest developments in the question. So you have to look at each and every word carefully. And that is a hint that it's going to bring you up to speed. Despite statistics to prove that there was a slowdown in the economy of the country, the professor was dash about it in affirmation, in denial, in protest, in shock. Now, the word despite is over here, which means that there is going to be a contrast. So, the professor is not going to agree with it, he's going to disagree with it. Now, in affirmation, affirmation is positive. One another way to look at options is, if you don't know the meaning, just look at the words and try to figure out if they're positive words or negative words. So affirmation is the positive word, denial, protest, shock are kind of negative words. And I know it's a very vague way to look at it, but it helps in exams. So in affirmation to nahi hoga. It is in denial because this is a very common phrase that you're in denial about something. In protest will not work over here because you always protest against something and you don't protest about something. So this is where phrasal verbs help you. Phrasal verbs bring down, bring up. If you practice all this and see the meanings and see which preposition goes against which verb, it will help you. In shock about it, it's fitting in, but the most appropriate is in denial because of the word despite. Now, after the unearthing of the relics at the archaeological site, the historian was asked to dash the significance of the discovery. Throw light on, shed meaning on, turn light on, focus meaning on. The answer is throw light on. Throw light on, why? Because this is an existing phrase where you throw light on something. Now, if it was shed light on also, that option would also be correct. Shed light on, because the word light is used in this phrase very often, where you explain something or you provide more information about it. Shed meaning on doesn't make any sense because you don't shed meaning on something. Turn light on, that that's a wrong option because it's very direct and it doesn't make any sense. Focus meaning on, so you focus on the meaning of something but you don't focus meaning on something. So if it would have been was asked to focus on the significance of the discovery, I would still say that that is correct. uh, but focus meaning on doesn't make any sense, is grammatically incorrect. So that was it. This was about the phrases and idioms that was asked in the IPMAT paper, and I hope you enjoyed this session. Thank you.